Hey, what is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you with the first fight of the main card. There's 5 fights left. It is UFC Fight Island 4. I feel like I'm supposed to do this like a countdown of Christmas. 5, 4, 3. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, very excited to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I want to remind you of the rules before we get to the action. If you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air like we do all the fighters who get finishes within regulation. That means submissions or finishes, but we are happy to give you guys a toast for supporting the show. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in, both on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Periscope or Twitter. Not really sure which one you're watching, but I appreciate you showing up nonetheless. We have a lot to talk about right now as Townsend and Turovic are already getting to work, and the action is very quickly unfolding in front of us. So very excited for what our prospects look like this evening. Therefore, if we are looking at the fights and you guys are watching along with us, Townsend in the black trunks already getting one good underhook here and starting to put it on Turovic, who very quickly, nicely gets out of it, brings a nice overhand left that staggers Turovic for just a little bit. Now is pushing him up against the cage, starting to get in some good combinations here. Lower body hooks back and forth. They repeat and switch positions, but then you see Turovic also go back and get the position back there. So I want to make sure you guys can see this. Turovic is also a very weird name to say, and I can guarantee I'm not saying it right, so I have no issues with that. But if you look at how many different signals are on his name right there, you'll understand there's no proper way to say it. Nice shots to the body there by Turovic. And I have to say, the name that appears on the UFC branding up there has none of those marks to tell you where the emphasis is going to be. So we're just going to call him what we're calling him. Meanwhile, you've got Dusko pushing him up against the cage. Nice head position from him, using the better parts of the spikes of his bald head, with many, many very follicles being very, very annoying to have pushing into your face in that point of the cage, on top of the actual cage, which sucks, by the way, to be pushed up against, if anybody has ever had that experience happen to them. We thank all of you who are joining us on our many different streams. We thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Again, as we mentioned, give us a like and a share on Facebook, and you will get a cheers on air. We already thank our good friend Joffrey Wakeling, who gave us a nice like. Thank you, bud. If you get the share, you know what happens, but I haven't seen a share yet, so I cannot start to give you a toast just yet. Meanwhile, action's looking pretty good. Townsend almost looks like he wants to figure out what Dusko wants to do first here. And Dusko has no time to give at all. Nice knee over this way by him. Gentlemen jockeying for different positions over on this side. And Townsend is really trying to pull down on the neck, but doesn't seem to have a great clinch there. Instead, they break up the action. There's 2 minutes left here. Dusko comes with a very strong overhand right that doesn't find a home just yet. Townsend tries for a kick, misses the range, but just is probably looking to see what he's going to need to get anywhere near Dusko, who's been yikes. So look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, somebody put up a photo that just said, "Welcome to the club, Court McGee," and it is all of the broken noses all over the place. My God. This is a little rough one to watch here, kids. Meanwhile, back in the action in the cage. Townsend's looking very, very nervous as to what Dusko can do here. Very cautious, keeping the arms just to check the distance constantly. And yet he's getting hit with a barrage of hits here. Dusko trying to hit every combination he knows. Throwing up against the cage. Townsend taking most of it. And it looks like for a split second, Dusko has to make a momentary retreat, but that's only because he slips while trying to hit a high kick. And meanwhile, Townsend's trying to connect with him, but Dusko's movement is very nice to the point where he's keeping out of most of the danger here. So it looks like with just 30 seconds here to go, Dusko wants to load up one more again against the cage to try and make things no bueno for Townsend. Townsend keeping the exact same pace and very much keeps the hands in John Jones friendly distance pushing hands that are almost close enough to maybe get an eye poke if they are not handled with care properly. It's a nice little finish to this first round, and Dusko's just going for extra points here, gets a knee, and they will pronounce it at the end. And I like that Townsend took the knee and then uses it as an opportunity to like stretch his neck out, which is among the funnier ways I've seen a fighter end a round, by being like, yep, okay, good time. Get that good rotation in there. I want to make sure I'm not just being stiff. You don't want to be stiff, kids. All right, let's share this on all of our major properties right now. As we mentioned, like and a share will get you guys a nice little cheers from us here on the show. I also want to take this time to give thanks to our fans, our friends, and our sponsors, Nogi BJJ Gear. Use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15, and you're going to get 15% off of whatever you put in the cart. It's not a bad thing. Also, I want to see, is this one I just put up? Yeah, that's right. Look at this. We had somebody already tonight mention they want to get this one. This one of the latest things from our friends over at Nogi BJJ Gear. It is an Eddie Guerrero shirt. You guys can buy that over at nogibjjgear.com. It's good stuff. Promotes us, promotes the good folks over at that company. Gentlemen, now exchange a quick little high five to one another at the center of the octagon. It does remind us that next week we do have another Fight Island, because that's where they're going to be for the next month. What is up, Rand Sidhant? Good to see you joining us back again as well. Ooh, Townsend now trying to get a good read on Dusko. Kind of has him going back up, but Dusko's head movement was very nice. Evades most of the punches by Townsend. However, now you're starting to see Dusko look like where he wants to engage. Starting to observe the footwork. You kind of see him almost pressing down. Looks for a spinning back kick, but actually has enough stance to just stop before he gets 3/4 of the way done. And it says MMA Fighting's recap of that proclaims Dusko looking good to end things quickly. Daquan Townsend has a chin and a half. I think I disagree or not disagree with that. Josh Hill just pointed out, our good friend, Dusko might be in on a takedown here. Yes, gets a beautiful takedown, immediate guard by Townsend, who's breaking the posture. That is good, but I don't know that I want Dusko to have the opportunity to start firing off some punches in this position. Those elbows are already starting to look like they're going to peer out in any given second. But Josh Hill spoke of Carlos Condit saying, don't think there's anyone I'm happier to see pick up a much-needed W than Carlos Condit. Legend. WEC forever hashtag. I can get behind that. Carlos Condit is a fairly beloved figure in our sport, and with good reason. Has given us a number of really good fights. And Dusko trying to pass the guard here. It does look like he's still stuck, but it's not necessarily a bad position for him to be in that half guard. A lot of times you can create some damage there, and he might have his leg all the way through. Yes, now he's going to switch to mount, but in doing so, rushes the mount a little too hastily and gets put back into a kind of quarter guard once there again. Let me go ahead and check a comment that we've got right there. It says, where'd you get the t-shirt from? That is from our sponsor, Nogi BJJ Gear. They are great. You can visit them at nogibjjgear.com. It's pretty easy. They're great. They have other fun stuff. You can also buy some of the stuff that we have made happen. The Corona weight one was one that I said in an offhand joke, and guess what? It became a shirt. There you go. There's also a Corona weight champ one. Support them, support the show. Dusko is now starting to unload where the ref is very concerned, and Dusko's working on a head and arm choke. Gives it up. Goes right back to mount strikes. And now you are seeing Townsend give up his back here. and takes some more punches for it. The referee says, maybe I'll let this continue to go on for a few more minutes. And yeah, Dusko's looking pretty good here. This is definitely reminiscent of, Christmas Story. He's got a nice amount of punches. Townsend looking a little miffed as to why they would stop a fight like that. The answer is because he was getting punched a lot. Yes, he is able to make some sound notations, but yeah, that's an understandable finish. I have no issue with that being a done deal for us here, kids. So yeah, that's going to necessitate an actual toast. So we'll take care of him. I'm also going to do a quick little backup to go all the way to Luigi Vanderini. Hey, Luigi, you had a great finish. A TKO by a head kick and some punches. Man, I remember that vividly. And I was going to have our resident betting guy do a cheers to you, like a little toast, but he didn't want to do it because he bet against you. And that makes me feel bad. But it should make you feel good. So even? Anyway, cheers to you. It was great stuff. It's the first time I've ever asked Dan, do you want to take the cheers on this one? And he flat out said, no. As far as I'm concerned, that fight lost me money, and I'm not going to ever consider it as a fight that happened. Which is very typical Dan Hubler, if you know one Dan Hubler. So anyway, we'll get this toast in. I do want to hear Dusko talk to Hardy in the octagon first before I make any words. But if you want one of those, I guess we never really thought about this. Draws don't get cheers because nobody won. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. If you want one of them, it's pretty easy to get one. Here's how it happens. You give us a like and a share on Facebook, or you give us a subscription on YouTube, and I do a toast to you. It's that easy. And I'm more than happy to do it for you guys because, listen, I don't say a lot of nice things about people, but if you like us, it's kind of like you're buying our love. So, not against that. And I want to say thank you on behalf of all the people who have appeared on the show and all of the good folks who have worked and collaborated with us over the years. What's up, Lazaro? We just celebrated 2 years of doing Grappling Hour. It's a fun spinoff. We're going to start season 3 up this week. But we just wanted to say thank you for a number of things that you guys have done for us. In the first 2 years, we'd have over 250,000 views on all of our content. Thank you. We've also produced more than, I believe, especially pandemic-based, altogether about 200 episodes, 50 of which have been fight companions. And of those, we've also done 20 of them being on location. Obviously, we can't do interviews on location right now because, reasons. But we look forward to getting back to go do interviews with people later there. Dusko is now talking with Hardy and saying he has a lot of respect for his opponent. He's a very tough fighter. And he knew he could take a lot of punishment. So, yeah, they're basically coaching him like, hey, bro, you probably could knock this dude out, but could you wrestle him down and then work from there? Dane Donovan writes, wow. I like that we're now at the point where we're asking people, was it always a dream to fight at Fight Island? Even all the way back since May? So I think he's trying to say, I think there are a lot of people who will be very happy for me, but it's done in an adorably foreign way where none of the articles match what they're supposed to say. But hey, listen. Okay. He says that he wants to be undefeated for the rest of his career, which makes sense. Said he wants to kick his zero, which is a very awkward phrase to begin with. I'm sorry, am I hearing from producer wife Kelly? He said geek is zero. Well, let's see what his official fight record is so that way we can verify that. Oh, he doesn't have any losses. So is it kick or keep? Producer Kelly, did he say keep? Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So, yes, he wants to keep his 0, which is a weird sort of thing to phrase it. But yes, this was right now. He recently appeared on the Dana White's Contender Series that was back last year in 2019. So he's been kept around to do stuff for a bit. That's kind of a long time to not actually have any action now that I think about it. I wonder if he's had any surgeries or anything. But he's not opposed to also having some submission victories. He has a rear naked choke win and a armbar win as well as a guillotine. But that was earlier in his career. Since then, he's had a number of wins by TKO, one of which was a TKO by arm injury, which sounds like the worst. So anyway, but he also has a win over Michel Padilla. Fascinating. Michelle has been a huge draw in the UFC with flashy movement and whatnot. And yeah, all right, I can see that. Michel Padilla also was the one that ended up getting a loss to Diego Sanchez, but a win a couple weeks ago with a technical rear naked choke submission at one of the previous UFC fight nights earlier in September. Interesting. Okay, well, he's probably going to keep his 0 for a little bit then. So good for him. Here is what I am going to do right now. I'm going to go and share this on the Verbal Tap properties. We still have 4 fights left to go this evening, but it is flying by very nicely. They're telling you that it's going to be new UFC Fight Pass content and is getting slimmer and slimmer each time I see them put it up there. Pretty soon they're going to run out of bullet points. They're just going to go, you know what? Why do you need Fight Pass? We don't know. We're not going to sit here and lie to you that you need it because I would love to hear Dana White tell us the last time he turned on his Fight Pass. Kyler Phillips, very excited to see him get in there. He will be taking on in just a moment one Cameron Else, which I'm sure is pronounced very differently. But I like that his bullet point is that he's a jiu-jitsu brown belt. Ugh, yikes. Okay. But Cameron Else, or I'm sure in their country it might pronounce it as Else. We'll find out when they yell out his name in a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a share as well. And if you guys remember, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air. I just had one of my friends send me something that's very stupid. All right. Very excited in the next few days. We will start production on season 3 this week, which should be a good time. I'm very excited to bring you some new guests. We've reached out to a couple people. We'll see what folks that we end up pulling on this week. But yes, we'll have a big premiere episode, maybe Tuesday. It's going to depend on the availability of folks who are around. But, we're not just going to pass by without commemorating 2 years of very fun work on the show thus far. And of course, we're coming up on another anniversary for Verbal Tap. We'll be starting season 9 soon. Oh, God. Yeah, I didn't think about that one. But that'll begin at end of November. So it's usually right around Thanksgiving is when that happens. I think Kevin and I officially put out the first episode like the week before Thanksgiving. And been doing them ever since 2012. Yeah, been a long time. We're now one of the oldest podcasts. We're actually the longest running weekly BJJ topical podcast there is. Take that, everybody else. It's also very fun because now we're getting to the point where people are like, I grew up listening to you. And I was like, oh, no, you didn't. Are you still growing up? That's weird. So it's only going to get worse here, kids. It's how it happens. Especially now that we're in COVID, a lot more people are watching. So we get a lot of people who are going, I'm sure in a few years, I grew up listening to you during COVID. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's up, Fire and Brimstone? Good to see you joining us. We are watching UFC Fight Island 4. I hope you are as well. Happy to give you some play-by-play if you're not, though. And let me do this. Don't forget, tomorrow the NBA Finals continue as Raf's hopes and dreams for a very quick series can hopefully continue. Let's just do a sweep. No one else cares. We here in LA, we care. We'll watch it. Oh, good call on that one. It's Don Stoner's birthday today. Happy birthday. We love Don Stoner. Don Stoner is good people. I don't know that you need to, take the opportunity on this show to wish him a happy birthday, but I like him, so I got no issue with that. Sweet. We were just talking about having a big show this week. I just got a note from a guest who is a big name who says he would love to come on the show. So things are looking good for us. All right. Want to give also a shout out to our friends at Love Movement. They're over in Kenya right now. They're doing a lot of good charity work out there. We'll keep you abreast of what they are up to. Boo, Mark Ramondi. This is Mark. You know what? I'm just going to read it out loud. I don't want to put him on full blast. This is Mark Ramondi's joke on this one. Oh, that's Cameron? I thought he was someone else. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to put boo this man. I think that's the best recourse for that joke. That's the hardest part about this gig is normally I would give these guys way more mess, but we're busy on air. But we will take the time to properly mock them. And he is a very nice human being, though. He is one of our also favorite reporters in the jiu-jitsu and MMA game. Let me say, boo this man. Boo this man. Got it. That'll teach him to do a joke. You know what? My favorite comment on that thread is somebody that just goes, "Go to bed, Mark." And underneath it, someone just said, "Nah, didn't work." So as is, we're not even the meanest comment. Yup. All right. Anyway. Next fight coming up, as we mentioned, Kyler Phillips, Cameron Else. Hopefully you guys are excited. I would love to hear who you think is going to win. Don Stoner's birthday is sponsored by the Grappling Hour. No, it's not. We don't get any money for that mention. I like Don, but he's not paying to be a sponsor on this. You could tell him that. Probably, you know what? He might be like, I'll kick you $20. I'd be like, well, sold. Now we're going to give you 20 hours of airtime. It's so sad sometimes that Forrest Griffin is still the best at commercials compared to all of the other UFC fighters. What is up? Crazy Love Benzino. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the fam is good. Give my best to everybody. Watching along with UFC Fight Island 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would love to hear who you guys have on this one. Do you have Phillips or Else? Let us know in the comment section so that we can hold you accountable. I mean, so that we know who you're rooting for the most. Also, I'm going to give this a share on our properties. Let's go ahead and check and see. We do have a comment here. I'm not doing that joke. I'll put it up, but I'm not reading it. No. That's the worst. I'm very excited, though. By the way, SNL returns tonight, so I'm going to get excited for that one. See Jim Carrey do a little bit of Joe Biden. That'll be a fun catharsis for all of us. I also think it's got to be a hard time to be a comedy writer when your president goes to the hospital for COVID. So we'll see. All right. Friends and family, Cameron Else is in there. He's shimmying. He's stalking his prey. All right. So, yeah, he kind of used the phrase Cameron Else. And, of course, Kyler Phillips coming in with the 7-1 record, fighting out of Glendale, Arizona. I have seen this man fight live. He's quite good. He is also the favorite in this one, just to let you know. Is that her? That's so stupid. I'm not. All right, I'm taking that comment off now. It had its day. Rap, I'm dying over here. Yeah, I know. All right, fight begins in just a second. Let us walk you through it. I think Kyler's gotten some of the best hair braid work this side of Uriah Faber. Props to him, man. And in the black trunks, you have Phillips. White trunks, you have Else. And it says, I want to see G-Baby come back from the bathroom and see this comment. Yeah, possibly. I can't promise you how he's going to react on that one. Phillips coming in with some nice kicks already to begin with. Cameron trying to do the same. Kyler coming in with a good one, too. It's blocked by the hands. Kyler also sounds like a weird midpoint. Like, is it just Kyle? And is the full version of Kyler? What's up, Sash? Good to see you, bro. Hopefully you're watching along, learning a little bit this evening as we're trying to figure in some more UFC coverage. You got Phillips, you got Else right now. Good exchanges between the two. Phillips looking pretty good so far. What is up? I'm going to go ahead and give that a wave. Nice connection right there. Phillips tries to go for a big kick. Nothing too crazy right there. Thank you. That's how you know. This is full service, everybody. Props to producer wife Kelly for going to make it pizza happening. I'll probably wait. Nice spinning back kick. And oof. Tries to jump in for a flying knee there with no reaction. And that is essentially Phillips, who was trying to do that. Else very nicely ducks underneath it, though just a little bit of a getting too excited for something that's probably not going to happen there. Meanwhile, I'll say now is trying to back up Phillips a little bit more. Nothing there. Good kick to the side for one Phillips. Ooh, very nice read by Else, who essentially ducks down but connects with a punch. You are seeing both of them change their levels as they go in for their strikes. Eek. All right. We have a moment here, so we're going to take this. Where's tonight's pizza from? Big Mamas and Papas. Thanks to them. Not a sponsor yet, but maybe one day. 2:24 left to go. Phillips still showing the good range of his kicks. Oh, nice read by Phillips. Ducks underneath, a nice hook. Comes back with the shot to the body of his own. Beautifully read. Beautiful takedown by Kyle as well. For a split second, almost seemed like he was going to overplay the situation. Try and pass here. Kyler letting a lot of these kind of weird, not even up kicks, someone just kind of like kicks from underneath, effortlessly passes guard. Now loses it in transition, but shoves one Cameron back down, and now is going to try and go through a series of helicoptered legs. They're just trying to attack him. He's literally just looking like they're like bee stings in his face. Like, no, I don't want to get fucking stung by any part of this. He's got Cameron almost backed up to where the cage is. He's essentially now just past the guard. That was pretty good, man. Good for Phillips. Nice. Good little shoulder check there from underneath. Ellis for a split second saw an out, but then gets his back compromised here. Referee very quickly jumping around to see if he could find anything. There's 50 seconds to work here. Kyler is very much trying to reach for anything that's going to give him some counterbalance here. He's trying to unload a little bit. He's maneuvering up. He's trying to buck out of it. Cameron is a little bit in danger, but he might be able to get out of it, and he does. And now it's almost a reversal position. But no, Phillips very ready for it. Beautiful scramble work by him. And Kyler figures we're short on time, so he's got to try and get some strikes in here. Brings down an elbow, starts trying to hit the body now as Ellis from underneath is trying to get some elbows to defend him. Nothing crazy happening except for almost gets to a regard, and in the process may have just taken and eaten an elbow, and it looks like he's kind of covering up at just the right amount of time as Kyler stands over him and they separate the two. He will make it to another round. A good fight so far. All right. Who do you guys have in that round going to? Would it happen to be Kyler just by any show of hands? Gotta tell you here, kids, this pizza is glorious right now. It has been a good day thus far in. It's kind of weird. There is a silent commercial that is designed to be that way, I believe. But it is one that when you are just barely listening to the audio of it, does trip you out when you are doing a live broadcast and you go, wait, did I lose my sound? No. Oh, that's got it. Second round, Kyler's looking very solid to begin. And let's see what Cameron has made adjustments to. Cameron looks like he says, all right, if this is the game plan that we're doing now, let's just throw it all out. And if he can get that uppercut going right there, that could be very nice for him too. Kyler gets beautiful body lock takedown. Starts to just swarm and is already at mount, which then transitions to a back mount. Now he's going to have a lot of time to flatten him out. You do see Ellis starting to cover up. The ref is asking him to give some action here. And yes, the referee is going to go ahead and call it here as Kyler gives us, just like some random jumping backward shit, which, okay, sure. Who is that giant in there, though? Let's address that. There is a very tall human being that is tattooed and almost comedically out of frame like a Charlie Brown character, and he is the most fascinating person to me, and that includes Kyler, who just won a fight. Let's see what you guys have to say about that. It says, I agree with you. Yeah, I would hope so. My God. What a beautiful pass of guard, man. Kyler Phillips' ability to pass guard is concerning. And that was a dude who is a jiu-jitsu brown belt. Most brown belts do not let you pass guard that easily. Granted, getting punched will change a thing or two. It's pretty cool to have your team come over to make sure you put on your shirt correctly. Body might be tired. Appreciate that. All right. Well, that's going to merit a cheers. Let's catch up on the last one that we didn't do it for, and that's Dusko. Yeah. Yo, this cheers goes out to Dusko. Dusko, don't know how to pronounce your last name. Not going to try. You're awesome, man. That was a great fucking knockout in that last fucking fight that we saw. You led the main card off properly. Not only that, but you say that you are going to keep your O intact, and I look forward to seeing you do that. Cheers to you, sir. Want to know how you can get your own cheers? Pretty simple. Give us a like and a share on Facebook, and we will be sure to toast you while we are on here. Dane, little unsportsmanship. Well, I'm sure there's a story for it. If these interviewers are worth their paycheck, they'll probably ask him about it. That's also including Hardy, who has earlier this summer accosted one Herb Dean. So let's see if he does that here. What's up, Nader? Thanks for joining. We're watching right now UFC Fight Island 4. So Hardy is complimenting him and saying, great job. Let's walk through what you did. So Kyler's basically saying, hey, listen, I knew he was going to come out with guns blazing. Oh, no. Oh, man. It kind of cut his mic out a little bit. So he wants to do another fight ASAP. He says he wants to live at Fight Island to get free food and just live amongst them. Ariel Hawani just retweeted, did he just say this is an awesome crowd? Okay. No, stop flipping. Yeah, I mean, I've covered him fighting before, and I know he's that. Okay, well, we can do that. So you're saying these post-fight celebrations are dangerous. Look what happened to Johnny Walker. Careful out there, folks. What's up, HM? Then it's also so crazy seeing Dan Hardy with gray hair. Sure. I mean, everybody gets old, dude. I think he rocks the gray hair quite nicely, actually. So good for him. And it says, Dan Hardy looking almost like an Anderson Cooper with that gray. I wouldn't go that far. Dan Hardy still looks, like he's got salt and pepper. Anderson Cooper has been pretty consistently white. Why they call him, was it Silver Fox? They refer to him as. So I don't know that they're in the same league of hair. But yeah, Dan Hardy's, he's been there for a while. All right. Let's walk you through a few more things. I'm going to go ahead and give this a share. I'm going to make sure y'all get your proper notes. What's up, Eric? Hope you're feeling better, man. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday watching fights along with all of us. Right now, we're going to be going to the third fight. So that is Jermaine Durandamy, which, by the way, sounds like most of the members of the Jackson 5, versus friend of the show, Juliana Pena, who many years ago, man, remember when she came on Verbal Tap? Not so long ago. She was very nice to us. And, it's nice to see her active again. I can't even remember the last time I saw her fight. I'm going to have to look that up, and I will. So just give us a second. We'll check that out. Pizza's looking super great tonight. Oh, shit. I'm getting a refill. Man, awesome. Thank you. Big cheers and love to producer wife Kelly. We'll probably see some emojis from the fans in a second, but very appreciative. This is the food that keeps me going, keeps me able to talk for 6 to 7 hours at a time. I'm excited for Gagey and Khabib. It's a tall order for Gagey, but I just hope he brings extreme violence. I hope that is his win. Khabib is a tough guy to beat, though. All right. So who do you have in this next fight? Do you have Jermaine Durandamy or Juliana Pena? I will take that in your comment sections. Yep, appreciate that, Dane. Dane gives a cheers, Kelly. Jesus. Strikes by position, 99.2% is a crazy statistic. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's going to be a fun fight to watch. So that'll be on pay-per-view at the end of the month. Very much looking forward to that one. That Ferguson fight with Gagey, though. Ooh. So to remind you, tomorrow we do this again. There is the Submission Underground. I believe that starts at 3 p.m. Best Coast time. So we'll have a panel for that one. We'll have some of our friends joining us in the afternoon, walking us through some of the fights, cheersing along with us for those folks who do it. And as a reminder, you give us a like and a share on Facebook, we give you a toast. That's how easy it goes. We're actually going to be taking care of that. So, all the members of the Jackson 5. I got to tell you, Woods, I've been doing that joke for a long time, and it will never get old to me. Thus, I will never stop doing it. It says, oh, man. Carlos Condit says, fucking savage. Court McGee fixed his own broken nose mid-fight. What a gangster. Yeah, that's undeniable. Dane Donovan. Jermaine is big for the weight class. She cuts a lot of weight. She will have the reach. Can she stop the takedowns? I don't think so. So you're going for Pena on this one? Okay. Says Juliana Pena, no bets. Well, I don't bet with you here, so I don't have any leverage to tell you. Never retired that joke. Honestly, I think I'm so committed to it at this point, I couldn't stop it if I tried. Sometimes you get your own jokes that you go, no other show's going to do this one. I guarantee you, no other show does that joke. That's the kind of commitment you get from us at Verbal Tap. Almost 8 years of that. Believe that? All right. So I've got Jermaine, Pena, Eric, I want to hear who you have. HM, I'd like to hear who you have. I'm looking at some of you guys just lurking here too. God. All right. Last slice, everybody, for now. So they just showed a clip of Juliana Pena from UFC 200, which begs the question, when was the last time she fought? And that, my friends, was that one fight that Durandamy was headlining. That was back in 2019, July 2019. So it's been a year. Before that, it was 2 years before, where she had a submission loss to Valentina Shevchenko. That was back January 28th, 2017. So that UFC 200 little clip that they're playing isn't close to being one of her furthest away clips. It is actually one of her more recent ones, which is insane. These are very fun. UFC says this is going to be a fun one. UFC Fight Island 4. I'm going to give this a share in just a second over on the Verbal Tap grappling pages, including Early Late Night right now, shared. All right. I got to give this a share over on the Verbal Tap page, and then we continue our coverage all night long. All right, Grappling Hour. Yes, very excited for tomorrow's Submission Underground. It is we got a lot of friends on that one, honestly. So I think we've almost interviewed, 75% of the people on that card, or we've run into them. So we would definitely be very excited to see who comes along. I like that right now. Red Jitsu, our good friend Richard Alarcon, says, "Nice shirt." Thank you. It's by our resident betting man, Dan Hubler, who very nicely told us tonight, even though he retired from doing designs for Newaza, basically goes, you know what, sometimes I just feel like it and I throw something up on my page. Don't expect me to do it all the time. But when I'm in the mood, I do it. Enjoy the last few fights with us live. And then it is UFC Fight Island. 4. Boom. Yeah, I don't know who to pick on this one. I would like to root for Juliana Pena. I don't know what those layoffs do. And Jermaine Durandamy is very consistent. She's the number 1 in there. Juliana Pena, for not fighting that much, still being ranked number 4, is not suspicious. It's, oh, okay. That's a good way of putting it. Having said that, though, I mean, if she won, it would put her in a pretty good spot. So I could see how they kind of want to see how this one plays out for their division. But you aren't wrong, Dane, in saying that Jermaine is big for the weight class. I do think, though, that we have seen Pena as dude, not only is she a workhorse, but she's somebody who has a lot of durability that we've seen. Been in some of our favorite fights that we've seen in the UFC. So yeah, I would say let's root for her, kids. I like that they're like, quick, let's give her some street cred. Let's show her punching Amanda Nunes a couple times. God, what a young John Anik in those videos. And the long forgotten yellow mats from UFC 200. I'm so glad we never did that again. I'm so glad that was a one and done. What's up, Pablo? All right, you got Jermaine? Okay. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, we're just going to root for Jermaine. I feel confident in rooting for her without having to say I think she's going to win, because I think that's the better way of doing it. For those of you just showing up right now, I'm seeing some of you guys just join us. Tell us who you got on this one. Do you have Juliana Pena or do you have Jermaine Durandamy? Which, by the way, if you do know the Jackson 5, you do know that Jermaine has a son that he named Jermagistery. So Jermaine Durandamy is not far off from the crazy that is the Jackson 5. I'm just saying. Oh, it's so great. One of the benefits of training is when you do have your pizza, you have earned your pizza, kids. So this is what I dreamt of earlier today while training. All right. Other things to note for tomorrow. Let me think. Cody Steele, William Tackett, Rafael Domingos, Keith Krikorian. Of course, Mason Fowler. Is Roberto on this one? Don't remember. Vinny Magalesh. Emil Fisher. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. We've interviewed every single one of the people that we mentioned. Yeah, that's a stack card tomorrow for the Submission Underground 18. Let's double check that while we're here now. I don't want to do that tomorrow. Sug 18? Yep. And it says ahead of Sug 18, Chael Sonnen believes Mason Fowler is guide to beat. I think most people should read that in broken English. Chael Sonnen believes Mason Fowler is guy to beat. Of course he is. He's the champ of the division right now. So yes, he is guy to beat. It's so stupid. Main card. Let me see. I know there was a dropout. Teagues is on that one as well. He unfortunately won't have one Nicholas Maximov, who is a very good competitor. So yes, it is, now that I remember it correctly, you will get Gabriel Checo versus William Tackett. That should be a great match. Rafael Domingos versus Keith Corian. Great match. Cody Steele versus Brian Neuro. Probably going to be great. Kendall Rosing versus Leah Taylor. Really good match. So I hope that you guys take a moment tomorrow to join us, 3 p.m. West Coast time. I think we're going to have a really, really fun thing. Also, that's right, Justin Renek, who showed up a little bit earlier tonight. He's going to be on that card. So many of our friends, so happy for them. Says, heads up, I just sent Kevin with Canaway CBD an email about sponsoring the Grappling Hour. I sent him a video link of your stats. Kevin runs their sports sponsorship program. Good dude. Fingers crossed for you, Esparza. Thanks. I'll take it. We actually don't have a CBD sponsor right now. I'll take one. Appreciate that, Dane. It's very nice of you, bud. Although, you know, it's funny. One of our closest friends is actually a CBD sponsor. I just don't ask them because we normally do collaborations with them. And so I was yelling at him. I was like, dude, you know there's a prize package winner that you haven't given something to? And he goes, what? Oh, no. And I was like, yeah, it's from last year's ADCC. And he goes, okay, I'll take care of it. I go, do you know where you train now? He's like, yeah, I just switched gyms. I go, cool. He's your instructor. He goes, oh, fuck. He hates me, huh? And I was like, he doesn't know you're you and you didn't know he's him. But both of you guys have messaged me about each other without knowing it, and now you both know each other. Give him his shit. Says Ragtown Reggie Deji. It says, what fight are we on right now? Haven't had time to do anything. Haven't seen any other streams. I got you, bro. We are on the Jermaine Durandamy fight and the Juliana Pena fight. So this is the third fight of the main card. I will go ahead and narrate it for you just so that way you can keep up on it. I understand it's been a crazy night, but do not worry. We're here to walk you through all of the action. And they are just about to start right this. This would be better if I had timed it better, but hold on. Now I've committed. 2, 1, and hold on. Bet the house. I'm not betting the house. What are you talking about? Get out of here, Eric Robles. Time begins. Very nice. It's not sportsmanship when women do it. Sports ladyship. I don't know. That's not the right phrasing. Anyway, very nice show of camaraderie there. It says Ragtown, Reggie Deji, let's go Jermaine. Absolutely. Jermaine's awesome, but I have to go for Juliana Pena because she's come on our show. So we're probably committed on this one. I'm not betting the house, Eric Robles. That's not what's happening. Don't think anything. It says who you rooting for in the main fight. In the main fight, man, I would really want to root for Holly Holm. I like her. She hasn't been on our show, but I wouldn't be super disappointed if Irene won. I just know that Holly Holm is definitely who the UFC is going for this. I don't blame you on the bias. Hey, I'm very upfront with telling people consistently the person who has come on the show more recently or is planning to come back on the show in a quicker fashion will always have our support. Otherwise, we're Switzerland. And I got to tell you, the more interviews we do these days, the more we see a lot of our friends fighting each other or having super fights with each other. So it is very difficult. And it says, same. I love her personality and she deserves a solid W. Thank you. Absolutely, she does. She is awesome. That doesn't mean jack with fighting, but whatever. I agree. Yeah. Oh, split little knockdown right there for one Durandamy, who backs off of it. Pena just a little dazed, nothing there. It says, Jermaine likes to land punches after the bell. Ask Holly about it. What's up, Rafael Pinilla? Thank you very much, sir. Good to see you. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm not going to ask anybody about anything on those. I'm not going to be like, I hear that you like to get cheap shots. Would you like a comment on that? It's like first way of getting kicked out of press row. Like, who's this jamoke over here? All right, nice. First split second there. I don't like the way that Pena leaves herself open even after going in for those takedowns. That's going to be a problem. Just looking at the difference between composure for the strikes, that says either is a bad result. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. All right. Oof. Yeah, this might be a rough fight for Joanna Pena. We knew that going in. It's not making it any easier to watch it live. Jermaine Durandamy already finding where she needs to find on the button. It says I'm dead again. Nice kick by one Pena there. You missed the one before that comment. I'm sorry. Oh, either it doesn't mean either is a bad result. Sure. Sorry about that. I'm trying to just double check, do our due diligence. Didn't see that one. All right, 1 minute 38, and you're seeing Durandamy kind of faint here, and you can almost see that she's trying to figure out what the speed is going to be for Pena strikes, and I think she has her beat in that regard. So this might be a little hard to watch, as we were kind of alluding to maybe a second ago. Right now on the commentary, they're talking about the pedigree of the striking, and look at that nice overhand that finds a home from Jermaine Durandamy. Also, I do find it impossible to just refer to her as Jermaine, so I probably will say her full name every time. Says, is this comparable to Brandon Schaub and Crow Cop? Maybe. Is anything ever really comparable to Brandon Schaub? No. You know, just an MMA legend, really. Man, what a weird circumstance. Hey, Pena in double underhooks here. She's working it. No, Durandamy gets one underhook back. They flip position. Now Pena's pushing her up against the cage, trying for a trip. This is probably more along the lines of where we do need to see Pena in this fight. I'm not against it. We're at the clacker right now with 10 seconds left to go. She's coming in with some knees. Durandamy's working, just try and get the space to block it. She does get a takedown, but the buzzer goes off. That is the end of round one. Hey, kids, how do you have that one scored? Hit me in the comments while I take a bite. This is really just an excuse to take a bite of this pizza right now. Tell me how you scored it. Chomp. This is what a professional does. They ask you a question so that they have time to eat. It fills the time. You guys have something to do. Engagement. Ta-da. I will say, watching the Toyo Tires commercial after Reyes got beat last week is a little harder to stomach. I'm really not pulling for either to win over the other in this fight. Just pick Jermaine. That's cool. I figure you, Ragtown Reggie Deji, as a fight fan, just somebody who's coming here for the good fights. And I believe we do have a good fight on our hands. Maybe just not for Pena. But if she comes in with those body locks, uses the cage, gets a takedown, things change. However, to get the takedown, you have to avoid some strikes. Ooh, color me corrected. Pena's coming in very aggressive here. Looked like she came in with a suicide mission for a split second. What's up, Wild Donnie Bryan? Thank you so much for joining us right now. I hope you're having a great night. We're watching UFC Fight Night. Oh, by the way, this thing's going to die. So here's what we have to do. I have to kill the Instagram stream in like literally a few seconds. And when I do, we're going to kill this and come right back. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. BRBs. Or not. Oh, shit. This is the first time it's let us go past an hour. Guys, we broke the matrix. That's amazing. I thought, like, normally we have to sign off after the hour. This one's actually letting us stay on. Now, the issue is I have to probably plug this thing in to charge it back up. It's not one problem, it's another here, kids. We live a tough life. Man, we have come very far if that's the case now. All right, returning back to the action over on this way. Thank you very much, Ragtown Reggie. I'm going to go ahead and plug us in. That's the takedown we were looking for right there. Durandamy going straight into guard. She just needs to get that other leg out. What's up, Wolston? Cola Jitsu? Cola? Is it like Pepsi Cola Jitsu or is that like Koala Jitsu? That I don't know. All right. Sorry. Putting my hand over. There we go. Fixed. Now we just need to fix this out so that I can swap so that this gets battery plug. All right. And we're back to the action as we left off. It says, yeah, I love watching MMA. Usually watching, but can't this time and still got to know what's happening. I got you, bro. We're going to walk through it. As we mentioned, Juan Pena got the takedown. She's trying to pass the butterfly guard, but ends up getting back into kind of a not a fully closed guard. There we go. Germaine Durandamy has a closed guard, and Juliana Pena is going to use this opportunity to try and get some strikes in. And Durandamy tries to get in an elbow. I do think Pena might have blocked it ever so slightly. This is interesting because there's not really a pull from the legs to break the posture. I think that Durandamy is okay with giving her space. Now she's closed up the distance, starting to pull her down, trying to go ahead and wrap her up so that she probably can't rain down any more strikes or elbows from inside of the guard. There's a nice elbow right there, though. That's good. Germaine Durandamy opens up the guard. This is a good position for Pena if she can maybe move that leg out. She's probably going to use this as a pressure position, racking up some kind of rabbit punches underneath. Durandamy gets a left hook under, and Durandamy is now just eating like weird body shots that don't look super powerful, but I think they're more or less just trying to secure Pena the round. Maybe Durandamy's thinking about a lockdown, but she kind of stopped midway through. That lockdown would really help her in this position. So we're going to have to see how that plays out here. Ooh, Pena's trying to just crank on this neck. A little bit of a guillotine situation here. Kind of from the mid, I did see a hand go up. I don't know that she was thinking about tapping, but this would be a very unusual space to tap to. And I would like to see Pena come all the way up to mount. Yes, you do see a reversal of the position. You will need to see Pena probably give this up because she's still got the hand around the head position here, which very, very observant viewers will know is Von Flute central. So you really want to be careful with that one. And I don't know if Germaine Durandamy is all that savvy to it or cares about it, because I think she's just trying to get a mount position to alleviate some of the pressure here. But if she's really smart with it, she could turn that into a really, really problematic area for Juliana Pena right there. Juliana Pena now on bottom, trying to find a hook underneath. And we're going to run out of time in this round, but that could have been a beautiful transition there. And instead, we end up going to this. It says, Biggie Man asks, who's winning thus far? Just got here. Got you. Right now, I would say it's possibly 1-1. If people in the comment section have a different opinion on that, you're more than welcome to chime in. But I can tell you, Juliana Pena looked a little bit better this round, scored a little bit more on the cards, just with some punches where she needed to. Meanwhile, First round was very much Jermaine Durandamy's. So that's what I got. Also, I like that you have Scooby-Doo's Rutrow as your profile icon, which shows you're our kind of audience. We have a type. Thank you very much. Round 3 coming up right now. If I'm saying they're tied at 1 round apiece and you agree with that, then you probably understand this is a very, very impactful last round. Dane Donovan chimes in and says 1-1, I'd say. Yep. And that second one, I mean, it was more so done on control positions, and I think that Pena within the guard probably racked up as much as she could. So that's what we got. Appreciate the heart. Thank you very much. If you give us a like and a share, we're going to give you a toast. By the way, I got to do a toast for... It'll come to me. For Kyler Phillips, yeah. All right. 4 minutes and 34, 1-1 to my surprise, says Eric Robles. Yeah, no shit, man. Nice. Listen to this. Look at it. Pena just, when she commits and just does not care about leaving her own chin open, she racks up a number of these strikes. It's something to behold. I don't know that a number of people could really just keep their chin down and just press forward with like very straightforward punches like that. But she tends to catch Durandamy very off guard with that. And if I remember correctly, it's very similar to a style that she used to do even on her days on The Ultimate Fighter. Durandamy cracks her up top. There's 350 left. You see Pena trying to come in with a series of left jabs, whiffs on one of the hooks. Durandamy counters. Nothing too crazy yet. Now Durandamy steps back, misses one of the overhand rights by Pena. So it looks like every time... Oh, nice fake. For a split second there, Pena looked like she was almost going to try and... What? The referee is touching the fighters. Okay, there we go. What's up, Dean Machine 55? Right now we're watching UFC Fight Island 4, and we are watching Juliana Pena maybe surprising us in mounting a comeback. Goes for a nice knee here. This is a very interesting position. Dane, you were saying earlier that you thought that Jermaine Durandamy was somebody who would impose her larger size for the division as a component that would make it difficult. But we're seeing, I think, Pena navigate it very well, utilizing this cage in this round. And in the previous round, utilizing a very, very solid takedown. So we're in a good space right now. It's coming close. Pena now starting to utilize where her head is in accordance to Durandamy's face with the cage. And you are seeing, I thought for a split second I saw Durandamy look up at the timer. So I think she's just trying to figure out how much time she has left to maybe make a little bit better of an impression. Jermaine Durandamy's best moments have been during the stand-up when they've been mid-octagon. So I think she recognizes she has to get back there to make any kind of impression that's going to get a win on this. Because if Pena can keep up this pace and maybe even get kind of a faux takedown, she might be able to pull it off. Oh, no. With the takedown, Jermaine Durandamy is in on a guillotine here, though it's a little bit forced. It might be good enough. It does. She's trying to signal to the ref, and it does look like Juliana Pena is out as she does collapses right then and there. And she is a little bit convulsing as Jermaine Durandamy comes over and just gives a signal. Wow. TBJJ-esque writes, what a match. What a match indeed. Well, everybody, Jermaine Durandamy comes away with a submission victory at the time we needed it. So she comes in, puts the pressure on her. Now she kind of slips into almost that guillotine position there. So let's see. Amanda Randomie actually has enough time to tell the ref, listen, her body is a little lifeless. You might want to maybe call it here. Man, I had Pena winning the fight before all of that. Yeah. Pena's back on the stool. She's okay, but you could tell she is feeling the feels of somebody who was close. Man, I expected a KO, not a sub. You and everybody else. You're not wrong here. This is, I mean, nobody really expected a submission from Germaine de Randamie. In fact, let's do some sleuthing. Germaine de Randamie has Ariel Wanting. Whoa, GDR subs. Okay, so she has, and her Wikipedia page will change, but she has 9 wins and 4 losses, 0 by submission, but 1 tonight. Hey, man, just goes to show. Anybody on a good day can get one. I mean, Eric, you've caught me like once or twice or something. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes things happen. I just like the idea that when you watch these, you come in, and one of the things that we enjoy about it is the element of surprise. So getting to see something like that happen, it definitely caught all of us off guard. And it's a good vet response from Germaine de Randamie, who's like, damn, I'm under pressure. I'm going to lose this fight. I better come up with something right now to make sure I walk out of here a winner. All right. Well, I think we're going to wait to cheers her until we hear after. But, man, tough one for a friend of the show. Oh, that's really sweet. I like that. You see Juliana Pena smiling a lot as she is cheering for her opponent. It's good sports personship. Is that what we decided on? I don't remember. Germaine de Randamie says she was very tough, but if you give me your neck, I'll put you to sleep. And very nicely is commanding her 50 Gs right now. Yeah. I like that. So Hardy was asking, did you expect to land a guillotine there? And you could tell one of her training partners behind her was landing and nodding heavily, going, yup. So, you know. All right, that's good stuff. That's very nice. She basically says, congratulations to the champ, aka Amanda Nunes, for their new baby, but says she'll be right then and there for her when she is ready to fight next. It's very nice. Germaine de Randamie moves to 4 wins in bantamweight history, underneath Ronda Rousey's 6, and Amanda Nunes is 4, so that puts her 3rd in that division. Not bad company. Man, that was huge. Wow. All right. We're at the co-main here, kids, which is Jorgen De Castro versus Carlos Felipe. And I'm going to put this in the comment section. We'll ask for you guys to tell us who you think is going to win. Germaine de Randamie now dinosaur roaring at the crowd. I can't rate on her parade. She's great. So here we go. Are they going to show a clip from earlier? Okay. Just a commercial for Fight Island? Is that what this is? They boof. All right, friends, are you excited for this next match, which is Jorgen De Castro and Carlos Felipe? If so, hit us up. Let us know who you think is going to win. We'd love to hear it, love to see it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and also share this on our other brands just to make sure we got people who are going to watch us close this bitch out. Got 2 more fights, kids. Well, let's also take a look at this. Nasruddin Imavov. So, I'm going to come back to that in a second. So, when Dan told us earlier tonight, let's pull this up for you guys. This for Risk It All. Dan went ahead and told us, yes, Yesen did not pay out. Frey did not work. But Imavov did. So, here's some good news. You did make some money tonight if you took Dan's picks. And overall, we are still net positive on Dan Hubler's picks for you who are using those as a barometer to make your own fight picks. So there you go. Boom. Not only do we make lots of episodes and celebrate lots and lots of interviews with athletes, but guess what? Now, fam, we continue to make you money. I just appreciate that Dan is like, Dan is somewhere right now calculating exactly how much money he's won you. I know that he takes great pleasure in getting you guys money. What's up, Arc Mike? So next week, Moraes versus Sandhagen. Then you've got Arlen Moraes versus, it's Edson Barboza versus Makwan Mari. Ben Rothwell versus Marcin Tiberia. Marcus Perez versus Yep, it's gone now. So, womp womp. Probably just pull it up on this next card over here. It says other fights to note on next week's card include Marcus Perez, Dirkus Duplessis, and then Tagir Ogleblov versus Bruno Gustavo da Silva. Omar Morales versus Giga Chikazi. These are going to be some fun names to say in the next few weeks, by the way. Ali Akisi versus Tony Kelly. Rodrigo Nascimento versus Chris Dacus. Tracy Cortez versus Stephanie Egger. And Yusuf Zalal versus Aliyah Tupria. Well, if you really want to see me mess up some names, tune in next week. That promises to be fantastic. Dane Donovan, you mentioned me in a comment. That's from earlier, right? Okay. I just sent Kevin with Kevin. Okay. Sorry, I just saw Dane's comment from earlier. And when I said Kevin in there, I was like, you just sent Kevin a note? Don't ever send Kevin a note. That won't pay off. All right. I'm waiting for you guys to tell me who you have in this next fight while we have a commercial break. I'm not sure if they're going to go straight into the fight after, but it would make me happy if they did. Carla Condit is down for the Matt Brown's request to have a fight. That's a fun one. I'm into that. I think we're all fine with that one if they want to do it. So that's actually super good to hear. Eesh. All right. 2 fights left. As we want to remind you guys, tomorrow we come back. We do some Mission Underground 18. We did figure that out. Sug 18. You'll want to be here for that. Plus, this week we'll be doing our 2-year anniversary show, the beginning of season 3. You won't want to go anywhere. But we've been very proud. We put together some very fun guest that I think we're reaching out to. We're going to see who also tomorrow wins at Submission Underground. Maybe we'll reach out to somebody there. Who knows? You'll have to tune in this week to find out. Let's just say maybe it's Tuesday. We don't know. Fight schedules are always fun to coordinate. So it's actually the least awesome part of the job. Who knew that at Yas Island you could play Salt and Peppa's Push It? I do appreciate our athletes who are siding with Colby Covington over LeBron James. And they'll be like, oh, LeBron James thinks that he could beat Colby Covington in a fight. And I'm like, nobody thinks that. You know who thinks that? Dumb people who want to talk good things about Colby Covington, who are, again, dumb people. The other thing is we are clout chasing the NBA. The NBA, they're like, oh, the ratings have dropped. They're still significantly higher than anything in the UFC. More importantly, the NBA also has higher social media presence than we ever will. So, you know, be nice, kids. Just saying. I like mixed martial arts better, but they have numbers. So it's a heavyweight bout. It's going to be an interesting one. Oof. So Carlos Felipe's nickname is Boy, which, nah. Like, what's your nickname, dude? Boy? Or Boy? Ah, yes. I remember Jorgen de Castro now. Thank you. Yeah, Jorgen de Castro had that, man. Yep, I remember it. Yep, takes me back now. Oh, I think I just tore this off. Well, thank you very much, Dan Hewler, for the easy to tear off tags. This is a very nice shirt, though, I have to say. Machine wash cold. Nah, we're good. All right. Thank you guys again for the notes. Thank you for your appreciation. We've gotten very sweet notes from everybody all week, sending us well wishes for our anniversary. You know, we've accomplished some good things in the past 2 years. 250,000 views, 200 episodes, 50 of which have been fight companions. I think 35 of them have been since the coronavirus, at least. So, you know, I get it. And 20 of which were done remotely. So we've done remote interviews with 20 of the athletes, and we all together interviewed 170 athletes. That is something that I do not believe other shows have on their numbers. I would tell you, though, we're happy to go see people again when, you know, the world calms down and visit gyms. So we look forward to doing in-person interviews again at some point. But we're going to have to, you know, make sure people are safe and responsible. So until then, you'll just see me basically Skyping with a number of your favorite athletes week in and week out. And I think that actually, yeah, that's right. It's a good time to tell you guys. Starting this week, we're probably going to reduce Grappling Hour back to once a week. I know we've been very busy over the past 7 months, but we're gonna scale it back a little bit more. But we're gonna concentrate on giving you guys like a showcase episode per week. And if something else happens, we'll probably put it up. So just as a preparation for y'all so that you can plan ahead. I know it's been very fun to see us pop up most days at about 1 p.m. But yeah, so that's our nice little announcement to you guys so that you are prepared for that when you do see it. We do occasionally get people and they don't see us have an episode a day. I go, where are you? And I go, I took today off. You can suck it. It's fucking, we make enough episodes for you. I was like, go watch a rerun. Like, go pick up one of the ones that we've seen on YouTube. We're not short on episodes. I promise you. What is up, Chris Harrier? Good to see you, man. I haven't gotten it yet, but when I do, I will give you a full report on it, sir. So just as a reminder to you, got a comment here. It says great stats. Super happy for you, Raph. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're off to a good start. And more importantly, people who have better stats than that, like, have giant, like, they're either like Flow. I think that's it. But we're the only independent media that I think have produced those numbers in 2 years. So very pleased with it. And a lot of it is interaction with you guys. So we have a lot to thank. And, you know, our fight companions are one of our signature pieces on this show. And that dates back to all the way with ADCC 2019 as well. So, you know, we've had a very good run. And I do believe we will be doing a fight companion for 2021. We're going to see how they're doing audiences. I don't assume we are going to be covering it live. So it does not look like we'll be going anywhere. Plus, the UFC is going to continue making content like this. I looked at the calendar and I go, Jesus Christ, this is not going to stop, huh? So we got some time to do some fun. All right, let me give a couple more shares here just to make sure we cover all of the bases. All right, they're already in the cage, and I need to hear more predictions. Hit me in the comment section. Who do you have? DeCastro or Philippe? You guys might be taking a snooze on this one because you're waiting for Holly Hunter, but that is okay. Or Holly Holm. Oops. You might be waiting for Holly Hunter too. I don't know. Joey Martinez is giving us the introductions. I'm going to go ahead and give this one more share before we start calling it a night on the sharings. Excellent. Again, we thank all of you guys for giving us tons and tons of likes and appreciation. I get a note here. Yeah, not sure on this one. Possibly. I would like to see Jorgen win. I like his vibe. I don't know that that's the case that we're going to find here tonight, but yeah, let's see what happens. What is his nickname? It's a very weird nickname fight. There we go. Jorgen DeCastro is his nickname. Dude is 33. The Mad Titan is his name. Oh, that's not that bad. All right, I take it back. All right, we've begun. 4:50 on my clock. Hopefully it's the same for you. Philippe, kind of doing that weird mirror your movement. Both of them looking at each other. Nothing yet. DeCastro starts for a kick for a motion. Philippe backs up. Nice kick. Again, this one connects for DeCastro, though. Philippe just kind of pressing forward with an overhand right. Just kind of grazes DeCastro. We're off to a good shadow boxing start, though, so that's good. Good kick there by DeCastro. That might be the tail of it for a little bit here as they try to figure out how they're going to find their in. If you enjoy this, Cam, you'll enjoy a proper 12. Maybe. I don't know. We all a lot to one Conor McGregor, so we just kind of have to do this commercial for him. Sorry. Oh, good. You can hear the BOA chants. It's very similar to going to like a grappling competition and hearing the never-ending chants of BOA from people who are expressing their appreciation, but also probably make you get super annoyed after the third. Boa. The weigh-ins between these two were intense. I think it was DeCastro that went in for the handshake and was denied. Yeah, I did see that. It's paying off, though, right? Okay, starting to come a little alive now. Of course, you got Philippe in the white trunks, DeCastro in the black trunks. DeCastro coming in with a series of kicks, now this time on Philippe's inside left leg. What is up, Jits? Or is that Jujit Us 1? Don't know. Generally confused, but I'll just start with that. Great to have you join us. We're watching UFC Fight Island 4. Right now we're at DeCastro and Philippe fighting. Hopefully you are watching along with us. If not, we'll walk you through it. So now they're discussing the swelling that is happening on, I believe they're talking Philippe's leg right now. DeCastro has some very solid leg kicks. I would probably encourage him to continue that going right now. Ooh, even check that hurt. And that just encourages Philippe to just press forward and really try and find his punching right now. Think they might have just made a handicap joke on the commentary team, but okay. Oh. Philippe is signaling to him, hey, listen, yeah, you kick my leg, do it again, I dare you. Well, Philippe is definitely pressing forward. I'm starting to put together a pretty good flurry. Castro backs up ever so slightly. All right, fam, I'm going to ask you as this round winds down, who do you have winning it? Last 10 of this very first round. Let us know in the comment section. We'll take your notes. Does seem like Kyler Phillips in the presser right now says that he wants to stay on Fight Island as a replacement after tonight. I could see that. Fight Island 4. Here we go. Last 2 fights. All right, let's see what I got here. I think a few of you are kind of mentioning right now. Yeah, so fight. Okay. Yeah, I get you. It might come alive, though. Are we watching the Blade Runner one? You don't know? Okay. Usually that kind of content is producer wife Kelly's jam. So I have a feeling we will end up watching it. If he takes those leg kicks into round 2, I feel he'll put Philippe on his butt. Those were heavy kicks. You can hear the thuds. Absolutely. I mean, the real question is Felipe starting to find his range? He's now just starting to double up on his pressing forward. And when he does that, it does take away a little bit of that kicking range from DeCastro. So he's pressing him up against the cage. A takedown here would probably be the most beneficial but trying to take down big guys is a difficult thing. You and producer wife Kelly need to watch that Chris Watts documentary on Netflix.
I did this morning.
Oh. And?
It was very little new footage for me, but it's always such a heart-wrenching story.
Got it. She did it. Real upper. Loved it. No, in case you didn't hear that, producer wife Kelly is saying she did watch it this morning, of course, but that she is quite familiar with that story, and they didn't produce too much new information or footage for it. So appreciate the recommendation there. Thank you so much. I like that the crowd now is sending you true crime recommendations.
Not against it.
Oof. Again, this is kind of what Felipe needs to do. This pressing up against the cage really takes away. Referee's telling him, hey, listen, watch. Was he lacing on the cage? Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, that definitely helps. DeCastro's Felipe is pressing forward and saying, like, dude, you can just unload now. Did he just slap him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we've come to the slapping portion, which, of course, happens at the midpoint of the fight to commemorate it at 2:30 of the second round. That's when you slap. Good Lord. Well, Felipe is definitely becoming an aggressor, trying to stalk him down. Yeah, DeCastro, who's been banking on those leg kicks, is not able to get them off in the speed he was able to get them off before with somebody just trying to stalk him down. Yep. This is a really solid strategy. Get in on a series that is advantageous to you. Come in with the double underhooks, press them up against the cage until they break them up, and then go right back to work. Oof. Oh, wow. Yeah. I believe Dan Hardy just said, I have had nightmares like this when you have no effect on your opponent sometimes. Yeah, the referee warning about the grabbing the fence when you have somebody with double underhooks. Haven't seen that one in a bit. But meanwhile, DeCastro, significant strikes, 41 of 78. Philippe at 57 of 120. It says gas tank is gone, goes to a decision. Kavaka, I mean, probably. Oh my God. So much grabbing, so much passivity. Ooh, Castro got a nice uppercut there. I don't know, dude. I reserve trying not to use gas tank with big dudes. I feel like just getting in the cage means you got a good gas tank when you're a big dude. What is up, Sultano Kimonos, Angola? It is nice to see a face with the bot, you know? Whenever you get the people that send you, very pleased to meet you. You want buy ghee, top quality, best of all time. And I go, no, we're not those people. Thank you. And they're like, we have wholesale for number of geese. No, we're not buying them. Thank you. It says it's either a fight of the night, fireworks with big dudes, or a lull to the finish line. Felipe is so tough and gritty. He brings it. Yeah, I mean, he definitely is putting up a response now. So that is good. I do want to come back to this, though. Fight of the night, fireworks with big dudes, or lull to the finish line. Yeah, fighting this big guy is hard business, kids. Wouldn't recommend. Felipe is Carlos Felipe, sorry. Not the jiu-jitsu Felipe Andrew. But Carlos Felipe is very excited to be in this third round as he had his hands up like he was on an amusement park ride. And he did connect. He did stagger to Castro here. And these exchanges, this is where he seems to shine a little bit more. And it's making De Castro have to cover up a little bit more. That's not good. Well, you're getting a lot of that grittiness right now, Dane. However, Vaca, you might also be right when you say it might be a lull to the finish line because he might have just expanded a lot of energy there. I mean, is it a good time to argue with the ref? Remains to be seen. All right. He's trying for a takedown here. Oof. So basically, they're saying on the commentary that they were trying to hide how tired you are to get through it. Oh, man. Dane, you aren't wrong. Fast start to this last round. Indeed. This ref is so on top of being like, don't you dare even look at this cage. How dare you? Saying over here, what's up, Lubiso? Castro had Hardy beat with those leg kicks. Yeah. Last 2:30 here. This referee does not want to give you any second to catch your breath. I think they're just waiting for him to break it up. Carlos Felipe is looking at him like, dude, you're going to break this up any second now. Why am I even going to try and get out of it? You just slap him on the ass now, too? Okay. Well, we haven't expected a few things. Didn't expect the guillotine by Jermaine Durandamy, and now this Akon slap that moment in this. But much like the Hardy fight, Felipe found a way. Well, I think Carlos is just looking at the ref to break it up at this point, even though, oddly, Castro is getting in strikes, so it's really hard to break it up. To be fair, the referee is grabbing the fence himself. Do as I say, not as I ref. Ooh. Look at Felipe with a jumping knee going backwards. Just Felipe just clowning in there. Yeah. I don't know if they got this referee from like kickboxing because he's been very on top of that. I'm done. I've seen enough of this. Oof. Carlos is basically just trying to elbow on both sides. Eek. Well, they're talking about nothing in the gas tank left. They're not wrong. Well, just because they called it dirty boxing doesn't mean it's illegal, ref. This is Mark Raimondi. Yeah, this is really weird. Weird. Well, how do you guys have that fight scored? It's a strange one. I get it. Some of you might have checked out of it. I make no promises. But that means we are getting closer to the main event. Holly Holm, Irene Aldana. And then we're done, kids. All right, here we go. Boom. We'll get that one all set up. I mean, you got to give it to ESPN. They definitely understand we're still on quarantine. They go, what other shit can we make? Blade Kid. Let's make a documentary on that guy. Quick, release it. Here's some notes. What a weird round. Give it to Philippe. Sure. I don't know, man. It is hard to give it to somebody who's pressed up against the cage for a bulk of that fight. That third round, at least. What's your prediction for the Holm fight? I'd like to see Holm take it. It'll be interesting to see how Aldana does match up with her in this particular venue. I think, honestly, one of the biggest tells is going to be the Raquel Pennington fight and the Leslie Smith fight. So I think she will be tough to beat. But here is your winner by unanimous decision, and that is going to be Carlos Philippe. There's a lot. Yep, so much yelling. Hardy's trying to get him like, hey, bro, we gotta make this happen. We're late. Wait, did he? I thought he called him ugly, but I couldn't figure out if he said, like, I'm a big fan of yours. Hardy asks, why do you love fighting? Ooh, Ixnay on the virus, eh? Also, this dude has like one of the weirdest tattoos I've seen. No, you do not deserve performance of the night. Oh no. Well, he's fighting more with his team than he did in the fight. Where do we begin, kids? Well, I think that's the most Mexican Brazil dude I've seen in a while. So that's number one. Number two, the gusto, the gall, the hilarity to say you deserve performance of the night when no. Producer wife Kelly made a very rare comment in response to him saying he deserves performance of the night. Now, performance of the night is something we all like to see people win, even producer wife Kelly. So for her to say, no, thumbs down, I don't want you to have 50K is a bold statement that is not often heard on the show. In fact, has never been heard on the show until now. All right, here are the questions I got. Man, Philippe worked through some heavy leg kicks. Good for him. Congrats to the guy. Sure. This is behind the scenes of the whatchamacallit fight. So this is Dana White saying, "Fuck that guy, fire him." It says, he said performance of the night. I don't think you can give yourself an Oscar. That's not true. You can definitely buy an Oscar with the right promotion. So hard to say. We'll walk you through that one. That's a different argument. Will the next fight go to a decision? Possibly. Kavaka, that's a great question. And let me see if I can figure out why. Well, if you look at Holly Holm's last few fights, let's pull it up right now. Okay, so since 2016, she has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights. Okay, she has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those fights. Her last win was against Raquel Pennington. Now, both of these folks have fought Raquel Pennington, with one, Holly Holm, getting a win and Irene Aldana getting a loss. That loss was a decision split for Irene Aldana, and for Raquel Pennington, it was a decision in favor of Holm. So it is entirely possible we see a decision happen here tonight. I would just tell you this. Holm's losses, by and large, are decision losses. So that is concerning. Aldana also has only really lost in the past, 4 years via decision. So I think there is some validity in saying we could very much see a decision fight here tonight. It says Moneyline says Holmes. I like Irene. Okay, that's fine. Holm lost 5 of her last 8 fights. Correct. She needs this win. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can get away with being so-so in that division, though. So that is that, too. I mean, Irene Aldana is also ranked number 6. So she could potentially bounce very high in that rankings if she comes away with a win here tonight. So lots to kind of wonder and figure out for us here. So I'm seeing a few of you there. I will ask you, Kavaka, how do you see this fight going? I told you I'm rooting for Holm on this one. Aldana is right there. It just depends on what kind of Holly we see walk in tonight. That is one of the hardest things for Holm, is just a consistency at this stage in her career. So it'd be nice to see her win, but I got no beef with Aldana. What is up, Rodrigo Avelia? 1, good to see her. She was 10-0 when she fought Ronda. Now she's 13-5. She's a killer, and I'm going for Holly. I dig it. Yeah, man. Those Holly Holm kicks are so fucking legendary. 5th round TKO. KO. Ronda. Okay. I mean, thank you. Kavaga was like, Ronda's not fighting anymore. I would have put you on blast, but I figured I'll let you correct it, and you did. And let's be real, it's been a while since we've seen Holly Holm do one of her patented backflips. So, is that not what we're rooting for tonight? That's the hard part. Is we mentioned this earlier tonight in terms of rooting for fighters with good personalities, good souls. Every time I've seen Holly Holm fight, I just always liked her. So I don't know. All right, we're at the walkouts now. Well, we should probably put the names. Altana's walking out to super traditional Mexican music, though. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to root against that. It is so weird to watch the walkouts during the COVID era UFCs. Like the Performance Center, you could only do so much with. So I kind of get the Apex Center. Now we get weird. I mean, I like the color. I was saying last week, I appreciated them putting a little dash of mainstream electrical parade glow sticks in the background. That's a small touch to the production value, but it is nice to see them get a walkout. What is your walkout song? That's a great question. It depends on my opponent. We used to do this thing years and years ago. Before the song took off, I would always tell people I wanted to walk out to Till I Collapse by Eminem. But now too many people use that, so I don't want anything to do with that. One of my friends had a very smart idea, which is to walk out to something like It's a Small World After All that just fucks with your opponent's brain, where it's just like, this guy might be murderous. Over recent years, I would tell you this much. I think there are some cool walkout songs. I might even pick something like theme song based. I'm surprised nobody's walked out to like the Office theme song. That would be funny. No, I don't know. I would really think. God, man. I would just tell you for right now where I'm at. I change this daily, like I said, and I really would use it as a psych out for an opponent as well. But at this moment, at this juncture, I feel like Danger Zone is a fucking great ass song, and I would walk out to that. It says, I saw a Leslie Smith highlight. Smith was knocked out of the UFC once. She started talking about getting the fighters union started. Project Spearhead is what they call it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Ragtown Reggie Deji. We are at the main event, so it's about to come out right now. According to Woods says, Holm has the worst walkout song I've ever heard. Ooh, Ragtown Reggie Deji. I like that pick. Mine is Lil Wayne featuring Eminem, Drip the World. See, now here's where it gets really bad. I have no desire to fight in a cage. It's not what I want. You're going to hate on this, Adam? I don't hate this. Thank you. Drip the World sounds better to me, though, because it sounds like you got fucking riches to the end. No, here's why I would tell you. I really wish that I could just do the fight walkout, but not have to fight anybody. Are you following what I'm putting down here? You know, the old Pride Fighting organization where they would have choreographed dances, and like you saw Anderson Silva do Michael Jackson on one of them. You saw, what is it, Sexy Yama used to come out with these fucking intricate dance things. The only issue is, one, I don't want to fight. And two, I would put on such a high production sort of choreographed thing that by the end of it, I would not be able to fight. It would be highly suggested that I do not fight. So that is my want and wish. Also, Tunak Tunak Ton would also be very funny. If you guys don't know that song, go look that up by Dollar Mendy. It is quite good. We'd probably go all out for that song too. Wow, Al Quanta is the treasurer of Project Spearhead. Oh man, good for him. So Izzy shows his love for anime. What would you show as a love for as a sideshow? Well, I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling, so I'd probably give some love to them. Man, my interests are so boring though. I like good interviews. Like how I can't really shout out like hot ones, like people like that. What's something unique that I could shout out? Dude, I would probably just shout out the best shows I'm watching. Honestly, like I would give out recommendations. People would ask me, like, Raph, what would you have to say about that fight? I'd be like, you guys really need to go check out this new show. Although everybody would say Cobra Kai, and it is 100% wonderfully done. But like today, my wife was watching Elena Holmes, which is a take on a female Sherlock Holmes. Guess what? Had motherfucking jujitsu in there, or more specifically, judo. I'd probably tell. What's that? Same thing. Enola. Didn't really care to learn the title. Just know that Millie Bobby Brown is in there, and she plays sort of like Sherlock Holmes's niece.
Sister.
Same thing.
God damn.
She looks significantly younger than him, so
That was
babe, don't do that. There's no necessary reason to correct any part of that. Undertaker entrance would do. However, I don't have the height of the Undertaker, which is an essential element. However, nothing would make me happier than to command the lights to come up. So yeah, I'd be all about that. I'm just telling you, my showmanship would be mwah. Want to fight? 0. So there is that. Oh, look at that. Kavaka says Enola was action-packed, LOL. So look, we have something to watch. Yes, that's awesome. But that's what I would respond if I got asked in a fight. It'd be like, Raph, tell us about your fight. I'd be like, well, this season, I have to say, the work from so-and-so is really deserving of an Oscar this year. They'd be like, tell us about the fight. I'm just really a fan. They do a really good job. Check out Fargo. Sundays on FX. Really good subtle work by that nurse lady. She was really good at her job. That's it. Dane Donovan, when you look at the UFC, I can't help but think, okay, how much money does the promotion need in the bank? It's time we pay these fighters more. Right now, I think about these fighters getting about 18% of the revenue. Boxing gives out about 48%. Don't disagree with you. But you know what problem one is? They don't want to give it. You really do need people who are at the top echelon of it. The most interesting prospect of leading a fighters union, they always for years thought it was going to be DC. That's not going to happen. Dustin Poirier. I was kind of impressed on that. Dustin Poirier being like, I'm not going to fight for your scraps, dude. Like, if you're going to have me go in there, pay me the fucking money. And I have all the respect in the world for that. That earned every bit of it. And him and Tony Ferg, who I'm sure has to be hard to communicate with, despite probably liking each other, being able to say, like, yeah, I don't want to fight him. If he doesn't want to fight me, pay that man. So, high respect. We're off to the races here, kids. And it says, does Dana really need 300 million? You ask him that question. All right, 447 first round. Here we go. Whew, home with the blue-ish. I guess that's the best way to put it. They put blue as the defining color there. But home is primarily with kind of like black trunks with a little bit of blue in them. And then Aldana with very similar, just a little more blackish is what they're colored on the scheme right now. So anyway, that's what we're starting off with. Some kicks to kind of equate the distance to begin with. Of course, Holly Holm, former champ of the division. One thing to keep in mind, not only does she have superior striking from most athletes because she's been boxing for years, but one thing to always contend with is her ability to kick. So the question is that going to be something that we're going to see here tonight? Of course, she has a head kick win over Betche Correa. And of course, her infamous head kick win over Ronda Rousey back in 2015. Jesus Christ. That was 5 years ago. Man, we all lived very different lives back in 2015. Sometimes, if you close your eyes, you can remember what life was like outside of the quarantine. Sometimes. All right. We're at a decent pace for the ladies starting off right now. Yeah. Nice. Just in case you're joining us right now, my name is Rafa Esparza. Thank you so much for the new people who are showing up, watching along with us on this main event of UFC Fight Island 4. They are very much circling around the octagon with a number of times. Holly chooses her time, goes in with a flurry, creates some distance with a couple kicks here to kind of back off a very, very focused Aldana. Nice. Felder is basically saying there's no secret to what Holly throws. The question is, can you deal with it? Good movement by Aldana, though. I like the way that she's able to kind of sweep back just a little bit on each of these strikes. Nice work. All right, guys. We're going to have 1 minute, 25 seconds left of this first round. It's, it's a little tense. I think both the ladies aren't trying to overexert themselves here. We had a question earlier on if we saw this going to a decision here. Very possibly is what we answered, just given the records. So the real question is, are we going to be surprised? We've been surprised twice tonight. Don't forget, surprise number one was Jermaine Durandamy getting a submission via guillotine. Surprise number two, Carlos Felipe saying he deserves a performance of the night. Surprise number three, Holly Holm working on a takedown here. Doesn't quite get it, but at least it's going to give her good cage positioning here to end out the last 30 seconds. So it's going to be very interesting to see how she closes out, if she can make enough of an impression. Holly now has double underhooks here. Just second, gets like her head out position, does get a takedown, trying to get in some punches here. However, you are seeing Aldana do an excellent job of stuffing these punches, and they end the very first round of 5. Holm is showing a very high output. I hope she doesn't get tired. Her cardio has always been great. Yeah. That's one of the best things about training boxing, that specifically. Boxing fucking murks you. And you see these fighters who look like they can go like another 3-4 rounds easy. I would attribute that to mostly boxing in this situation, sometimes followed by good wrestling. Sometimes watching a wrestler with a gas tank that never ends is demoralizing, fam. I'm going to let you know this, Kavaka. I'm still thinking about your Undertaker entrance. Oh, man. Regal Cinema is closing all U.S. theaters after No Time to Die delay. Ugh. Did we have any Regal coupons left?
I'd have to look.
Okay. I mean, not like we'd really go. but boo. All right, well, second round, 440 on my clock. What is up, Alexander the Nate? That's a good name. Kavaka, is it harder grappling a lanky person or a stocky person? Depends on what your game is. For me, lanky persons sometimes are my kryptonite because they can hit you with like a dart from out of nowhere. It's really annoying. Also, passing their guard. They have a nice circumference they can hit to keep and retain it. So that becomes really annoying. Kavaka says, there goes my Regal Unlimited plan. No! I'm so sorry to break that news to you. The one news that I bring from outside the fight world is a direct hit. Also, the one fucking show I brought up that I thought would get no traction is a hit in the chat section. Even I'm getting surprised on tonight's telecast. Y'all are great. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Kavaka. Though it's really funny. I'm sorry. You still have some time before No Time to Die, right? Maybe they'll like keep it open for a month. I don't know, man. I just don't understand why they thought No Time to Die was going to open next month. That makes no sense. Anyway, that's for a later time. Back to the fight. Oh, and in response to your question, stocky people sometimes have no chins, which makes it harder to choke. But you also have to consider that's a no-gi mechanic. Sometimes gi mechanics change things very greatly. So lanky people actually sometimes hate rolling with me because they lose some of their natural advantages because I can slow them down on that. And stocky people sometimes can be steady like a rock, but the gi will help you move them. So food for thought. But yeah, anytime I see a lanky person, I just start making fun of them. Like, fuck off with your good guard. I'm like, oh, I'm so good. I'm like, no, you're just tall. Shut up. Holly's acting a little more urgent on this. This is kind of nice to see her playing not dirty, but just more aggressive. Oof. Look at these. Oh, that wrist control too. There you go. God damn, Holly Holm. Holly Holm was trying to hit that Khabib right there grip. It's one of my favorite grips to hit on people. Kind of locks their elbow in. Oh, very nice. Aldana almost at a guard. Nope. Holm is very, very consistent on trying to get this press. But it looks like she's back into guard. Underneath, Aldana's trying to hit her with an elbow. That's very difficult to do. Butterfly hooks by Aldana. Very nicely done. She needs to posture her out and try to get back up to her feet. She does push her away, and Holm gives her a kick while she is still just kind of biding her time, and now she gets back up. Brent Akamoto writes, no surprise, very smart game plan from Holly Holm so far. Really has Irene Aldana guessing on the feet and in the second round, and just scores her best takedown of the fight. Clearly a step ahead here. And our friend Kai Kamaka saying out Holly in full control. She's looking good, man. She's very much looking very, very, very solid thus far in. 15 seconds left to go in the second round. And Aldana's not going to have enough time to make a huge impression with these last 8 seconds. Holm is very smart, keeping her distance for the last few seconds of this round just to get enough to get her break, get her rest in. Few members of the media are chiming in saying they've got it 2018 for Holm. Beautiful takedown. I mean, man, for a split second, Aldana thought that she might be able to get a judo toss on her, but Holm's consistency and really just her drive is what helped make that one happen. Do you guys have different than just 2018? If so, let me know in the comments. I do not think we're there. Unexpected slaps, guillotine, and now Holmes takedowns? I know, it's raining cats and dogs here soon, kids. Those should have been the real prop bets. Don't forget ass slapping. That's right, I forgot, though. The slap. So great. Mid-round slap is so funny. Dude, look at Holm. Fucking pacing back and forth. Beast. Mark Ramondi saying Holm looking extremely crisp in all aspects. Don't disagree with that. Well, Donna's face is starting to look a little more sunken in now. And Holmes being very fresh with her movement. I'm trying to pay attention to Holmes' footwork here. Dane Donovan writes in, Holm, fixing to have some extra shopping money if she keeps this up. I mean, maybe. Ooh, nice kick there by Holm, though. Holmes' ability to switch that is always impressive to me. A person who... My striking coach is very funny when he goes, yeah, I think you could do a standing switch roundhouse. And I was like, okay. I don't, but I'm glad you believe that. Nice. Okay. Aldana reads that one very nicely. Let me go ahead and kill that comment. Bam! Takedown number 2 for Holm. And look at this. You're seeing Aldana do everything she can to try and off-base her here. This is excellent work by Holly Holm. This is the dimension I was hoping she was going to have here tonight. I was really hoping she'd be able to get some takedowns. It says, how do you motivate someone who's getting dominated? I am not the person to ask. So I will be very real with you. To our friends who are grappling, there are moments when I go, that's a choice. I coach with love here, kids. I think the best way to coach somebody who is getting dominated is to really isolate a problem and try and, in a short amount of time, identify to the person you're working with what they can do to fix the problem. So if the biggest problem is, hey, you're getting punched in the face, okay, well, why are they getting punched in the face? Are they just standing there? Are they only moving to one side? A lot of times in grappling, I notice that I'll make a coaching note to somebody who just doesn't see what I see. And I would almost say, oh, man, they're better than me, but they just don't see this angle and realize they have a triangle here. Holm now in mount is just unleashing here. Aldana doing very good movement. However, this is a bad place to be, everybody. Very nice work. Aldana grabs both, hooks on the arms, trying to just stop Holm from continuing an onslaught here. Again, there's 2 minutes at this mount that does not look like it's going to really be easy for Aldana to get out of. This is going to be a huge round for Holly Holm. Beautifully done. She pops her off. Holm still on her like a fucking glove. Man, Holm for a split second could have let her get back up and instead barrages her and rushes her into the cage. So Kavaka, if we're right now talking to Aldana, I think we're saying things like maybe avoid this knee tap takedown. And if so, here's how she's setting it up. This is the angle she is trying to do. Is she going to be able to make that correction? A lot of the times that comes down to fighter-coach relationship, fight IQ or grappling IQ. In this particular case, it looks like Holly Holm doesn't just get it out of a technical precision of getting the takedown. It's out of sheer will. Like, she is willing these takedowns to happen. So that's a hard thing to tell someone to do when they're getting dominated, to be like, well, maybe try not letting her get that knee tap takedown, because that would help you. I think I would just identify, all right, she's hitting you on the left side 4 times. What do you think she's going to do? Maybe change your stance here, maybe reflex this, or build that in, you know? It's just hard. There are some people who have really good takedowns where they see your lead leg and they'll snatch that leg very quickly, even if you build in a counter defense to it. And I would know. I'm a little bit of a counter wrestler, so there's that. Last 10 of round number 3. It says Holly is in great shape. Wow. Yeah, she is, man. And look at this. This is such a great experience where she makes the statement that she needs to. What's up, Vidak 35? She makes the statement that she needs to in the first maybe 4.5 minutes of the fight. When she recognizes she's not going to get a finish, she keeps such great distance that at the very end of the experience, she kind of looks and says, we're good. I don't need to worry about it. I'm just going to stay out of the range, find my shots, and get there. Yeah. Okay. Talk about this. You were asking again. I want to bring that back up. It says, how do you motivate someone who's getting dominated? Well, it appears right now the translation was, we're down 3 rounds. So, you know, it is important to state that so that they know this is a very vital round. It is equally as important as to give the clues to basically say, like, oh, BT dubs, here's maybe what we should try. I really feel like trying to motivate her is making her aware of where those takedowns are coming from, because you cannot be in that mount like that again. That's very nerve-wracking. And Holm is already looking really good. Couple of these jabs just really finding their mark, man. Yeah. So potentially what we're seeing right now is Aldana's like chasing her down has come back to like harm her a little bit in these past few exchanges, because it almost looks like Holly feels her out, makes the distance, lets her chase her, and then chooses the time when she wants to get that takedown. She doesn't even really get a shot in on this. Great combos by Holly. Is Aldana head hurting? Probably. I would. Holly was thinking about a takedown there. She just was a little too high. And understandably, you don't want to be too low where you get Ben Askren. Can we make that a thing? I'm okay with making it a verb or an adjective, honestly. So you guys decide amongst yourselves. I don't know. I don't think that her head's hurting as much as her body might be really sore from not just absorbing the shots, but eating it. Those like wrestling moments when you can't move a person with that grip are debilitating. Oof. I mean, they're talking about on the commentary right now of Holly Holm's sidekicks. It's a great thing where she makes the distance, kind of walks out, then does that. It says Aldana got a shot at a submission. It's not looking likely right now. Is Aldana headhunting? Gotcha. Probably. I mean, Aldana got told in between rounds that she's got to make an impression. So yeah, that's why she's stalking her. But Holmes isn't smart enough to know to keep distance. Those sidekicks aren't by accident. Those sidekicks are to be like, yo, chick, slow down. I don't want to engage right this second, but when I do, it'll be on my terms. Plus, I'm ahead right now, so I don't have to do anything stupid. Double unders right now. She probably can get this takedown if she creates a little bit of space. She eats a knee for a split second, but it's not a really difficult knee. And again, when I say we're not looking at a super technical one, that was literally Holly Holm getting a read of, okay, you don't want to go this way? I'm going to reverse the position and still get the takedown here. Now, earlier, Cabby just asked, will we get a submission here? In that close guard, that would have been the most opportune time thus far in from Aldana to at least attempt a submission for just her range and what she likes to do. But we just lost that opportunity there. And again, close guard in MMA is not at all an assured thing. That is a rough place to be. Also, shout out Instagram for continuously making me have one stream. It's so nice. Holm has been ahead every single round on the strikes. Some of these at a 2-1 margin, if not more. Last minute 10 here, kids. So we also got asked earlier if this was going to go to a decision, and I mentioned very likely. We are now very close to a 5th round with Holm using a lot of smart movement that may indicate that's where we're going. Comment says, during a recent interview, John Jones mentioned Holm may be addicted to working out. It's one of the few good addictions that comes out of the Jackson Winklejohn camp. Look at this. Holly Holm. You stop. The immortal Matt Brown just said, it looks like they're making their own fight. Good for them. Carlos and Matt Brown. They're just like, I'd like to fight you. Matt Brown. Yeah, I'll fight you. Okay. When do you want to do it? Pfft, screw the matchmakers. That's how you can tell these guys are vets in the game. All right. 5th and final round coming up of this fight. Just look at these. Beautiful. Look at that, Brandon Walensky. Look at you, bro. Did I just see you over at the Performance Center recently, sir? How was that? I don't imagine I'll ever get asked to go. So I would love to hear it from your opinion, good sir. Training must have been top-notch there. Oh, Holly Holm, blowing out the nose real quick. Okay. Well, right now, Aldana is down. We will, I don't know. It's not looking promising right now as Holly Holm paces her way back in. Holly Holm paces with that kind of conviction that you definitely saw a number of people laugh about whenever you see like Diego Sanchez coming down with the giant cross. Should Condit be pushing more for a Diaz rematch? I don't know if he can handle Diaz right now. I'll be honest. At this point, would you tell Holm to just circle and evade or go for the finish? Fighters are stubborn human beings. So I think you have to find, if you're a good coach, you have to find the way to sometimes manage what you think they want or know they want with what you really think they need to do. Because I really think trying to make a plan that's like, yeah, just evade. She's going to listen to you and be like, fuck off. I think the idea is we're ahead. Let's play smart here. If you see a finish, utilize that. But Holly, clearly you can do this. Even if you get one more takedown for me in this round, but don't give her an invitation to find her fight back in. That would be my suggestion. Andrew J. Valentine asks, how is Holly doing? Well, she's essentially ahead 4 rounds here. It's the 5th round. There's 3:30 left to go. She's not looking like she's showing any signs of stopping. She has been monstrous throughout this entire fight with pace, with a few takedowns throughout. Yes, I said takedowns. And more importantly, she's had mainly the decisive moments thus far in. So you're looking at Aldana going in with conviction to try and stop her, but she has had a very hard time with Holly Holm tonight. There you go. I like that you come in. Nice. I think we're all here in this section rooting for a big win for Holly Holm, and it could be there. And you might notice this. You did ask Kavaka earlier, would you suggest that Holm just circle? And she is more than just circling in this round. And it says, Holly has that chip on her shoulder, eh? I think Holly just is playing smart. I think it's hard to really say someone has a chip on their shoulder when, you are circling out and you just kind of recognize the more that I keep them away from me, the less that I'm going to let them find their way into the fight when they don't deserve to win this fight. Like, I've done all the work for 4 rounds. Why would I want you to have this 5th round? And it says, if Holm wants another title shot, she needs to go for a finish. You'd think so. But in this division, it's hard to say. And don't forget, nice Superman punch by Holly Holm there, by the way. It says they were calling her old, Dana. Well, Dana calls a lot of people a lot of things. So I don't put too much stock into whatever Dana says. Dana sometimes is on one and is just like, Holly's fucking old. If you really look at her, she's fucking old. It's like, you're old, Dana. Shut up, dude. Like right now, her movement has been phenomenal. Her footwork has been great. And if you can add that extra dimension of getting those takedowns in there, beautiful. So I think Dana will probably have some kind of nice words to say about her. Beautiful. Nice. Look at her. Attrition. That is a beautiful thing to see. And right now, Aldana's trying to get in some elbows. Holly's got to probably be a little bit more protective of her face here because she is stuffing it as a means of passing. Aldana is really trying to close guard. There's nothing here. She's playing with an open guard. In this final minute, Holly Holm is coming with that kind of new blue belt hubris that is literally coming in with that idea of like, fuck you. Oh, God. Holly Holm might have gotten a questionable kick there. Nobody seems to say anything about it. And it says, yeah, but in response to your question, they were calling her old. Ooh, Holly looking good with that left hand right now. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, say whatever you want about her right now. Holly's looking really, really sharp. And she's unloading on her in the last 20 seconds just to try and get a finish. Holy fuck, Holly. You know what? Next time I'm having issues with the last 10 seconds of my coach holding up pads when I'm doing striking, I'm just going to be like, listen, I cannot bitch out these last 10 seconds. I have to Holly Holm my way through it. And she knows she won, so she's there. She's good. What was I saying, Dane? Yeah, I was saying you would think so, except in that division, anything can happen. And more importantly, COVID. And more importantly, think about it like this. Fight Island, coming back. What's up, Sandpool? 79. A lot of people have gotten random calls. I am super happy to see her get a title shot whenever. I'm good with that. Holly is level changing on her pretty nicely, I bet. Yeah, I mean, so here, let me explain this. Andrew, her level changes are mostly just keeping at her same stance, but just finding the double unders and then trying to hit a trip. When the trip doesn't work, reversing the position and falling into it. And there have been moments where maybe a judo practitioner would have reversed the position, but you were seeing Aldana look at her like, I can't move her. She is like a brick right now. And that's part of the reason you get a response right now from one Dane Donovan who says, wow, Holly Holm. Wow, indeed. She's great. I'm so happy for her. So Mark Ramondi just writes, that was some next level shit from one Holly Holm tonight. And I do think I agree. I definitely want to hear what she has to say. I want to hear what she wanted to concentrate on in this fight. I want to hear essentially what she was thinking. $50-45. And there you have it, kids. I got a note here. I want to get coverage on that. Yep. Holly Holm says, she's a mover just like me. Holly was like, I felt like I was fighting myself in a certain regard. She said tonight she was able to put her game plan together and she was victorious. That's nice. She's saying that she likes to learn from her wins and not just her losses because it really keeps her motivated. I like that. She's saying when she first showed up in MMA, they were like, watch out for her boxing. Then she started doing kicks, and now she's starting to add in some grappling and takedowns like that. She's like, I didn't come to be a boxer in mixed martial arts. I came to be a mixed martial artist. Where does this put Holly at in the rankings? Well, it's very nice. Holly just gave a nice thank you to all of her friends and family members. Oh, we're going to get a backflip. Here we go. 1, 2. Wait, are they not going to do it? Here you go, Holly. 1, 2, and beautiful. Nails the dismount on that one. What a great thing. She basically knew how to make a TikTok video in literally just a heartbeat there. So where does this put us? Well, right now, you had, what was it, Jermaine Durandamy, who got a pretty good win in there. Holly Holm also picks up a win. Then you've got Ketlin Vieira, Raquel Pennington, Julia Pena, who's probably going to drop in the rankings, Valentina Shevchenko, and, of course, your champion, Amanda Nunes. Tonight you had a call-out from one for Jermaine Durandamy, who was saying, hey, listen, I want the shot, whatever there. So you've got Kavaka Kalma already saying over here, title fight. I mean, I'm not going to say it. But with somebody like Holly Holm, who's a former champ, you can never put her outside of that equation. So there is that. Valentina Shevchenko, maybe. Pennington, that's tough. So I think that Holly said the right combination of words tonight, because they said, well, what do you want next? And that's always like, I don't want this title. I don't want this. I think Holly, for her, it's all about earning that shot back, and just on her own accord, not for positioning for it. When you've already been a champion, sometimes I feel like you just say, if I find my way back there, I want it to be organic. I want it to be that because I've already proven it to myself. So I don't know. Dane, look at this. Good for Holly. Great show. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's run through a few reminders. If you would do us a solid and give us a follow on the following areas. Number 1, at Grappling Hour on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Periscope. We'd love it. Also, if you would do the same for our friends over at Verbal Tapcast, aka me and Kevin, that would be awesome. You can catch us at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. Also, you can find both of those shows on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you really love us, give us a 5-star review, please. They mean the world to us. They put us higher in the rankings. the more 5-star reviews that we get on Apple Podcasts. And Apple Podcasts are one of our biggest demos. And we have so many fans that never leave rankings or ratings or reviews. And they make a difference because we want to always grow and expand our shows. I want to thank you guys again for 2 wonderful years. We're not stopping, but we are commemorating 2 years of this broadcast. And it means the world to us. We've broken records. We've done over 250,000 views in 2 years' time. Who knows what we're going to be able to do in just a few more of those years. So I very much look forward to kickoff of season 3 this week. We have a guest, and you know what? I was not going to tell you who it is, but I think we're going to make sure to put on Gio Martinez, Gio Freakazoid Martinez. So you guys are the first to know. Don't tell anybody yet. But we are very excited. We have talked to him. He says that he's going to give us that. Andrew J. Valentine, you said, have a good night. I just followed you. Thank you so much. Thank you. According to Woods, look at this. Y'all are good people. I appreciate that. Again, it has been a fantastic night for grappling. We return back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Best Coast time to cover Submission Underground 18. Give some love to our sponsors, Nogi BJJ Gear. Use the promotional code Grappling Hour 15 so you can get cool shit like this. Look at this. Yeah, that's right. That's a shirt of one Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat himself, the real blueprint, the oest of all OGs. And again, give some love to our friends over at dodgycollective.com. That's going to do it for us here tonight. My name's Rafa Esparza. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats. Eventually.